fritters.
Welcome back to Maniacal Music Musings. I'm your host, Jeremy. As always, here to bring you a brand new funk. My big love don't stop and tends to go everywhere, but I'm doing it all for my baby, as everybody knows. It's as simple as that. So, time to chill back as I introduce my co host here. You could say he's the DJ and I'm the rapper in my dreams. His neighbors say that he makes a nightmare on my street. I just like to call him Charlie Mack. He gets out of the limo first because I don't want to get shot, and he's a better target. He lives by his dreams and little lies as he goes his own way. CJ, the music god, motherfucking playing everybody.
Hey yo, I'm here.
And, well, I would hope so. If we wouldn't have a show if you weren't. But, folks, we, of course, are joined by another amazing guest as we're going on a trip on memory lane tonight, but you'll see what we mean in a minute. But first things first, our guest tonight is Deanna Kuempel. I got it.
Yep, you got
Hey,
it.
she is the host of Label Free Podcast, a fashion designer, a model, a beauty contestant, and so much else. Her resume is so long I couldn't fit it all in the title. But welcome, Deanna. Glad to have you.
Thank you for having me, Jeremy and the music god. This is gonna be fun.
He likes getting called that too much, but
I like it
I,
though. That's very cool.
I
I've never
didn't
been
come
able to
up
call
with it. A
someone
seventh
that
grade
before.
music teacher did. So
Oh well, there you go. Then we're just keeping history alive.
basically, so Deanna, tell us a little bit about your podcast. Because I mean, we were talking beforehand, and you've been podcasting for longer than I have, for God's sake. So,
Yes.
what do you guys do on your podcast, or what do you do in your podcast? I should say.
So mine started off as a passion project. I've got a pretty rocky past. I've gone through some trauma, some stuff, and I've had to overcome it. And when I ended, I'm no longer a fashion designer. So when I ended my fashion design career, having my label, I got an email like a week later how to start a podcast. So it's like just kind of like fate, like things just fallen in my path, and I just kind of scooped them up. And so I didn't know what a podcast was. This was the beginning of July of 2019. So the last event I did for my fashion was end of June 2019, June 27th or something like that. And I was like, I told my girlfriend, my best friend, and my cousin, and I was like, I don't know who the fuck I think I am, but I'm gonna start a podcast. And I was talking about like how I was so tired of carrying all these labels from my past, my trauma, being a widow, and I was tired of carrying those all on me. And so Label Free, to live your best life, live Label Free, was born. And as it's grown over the last 6 years, the message really resonates with people around the world, and it means so much more than my story, right? Everybody can be in alignment with it. It really just depends on how you see that fitting into wanting to free yourself from those limiting beliefs and living authentically in your truth, your purpose, and whatever that looks like for you.
I like it. I like it. It's. I believe in a label-free society. I'm 100% for that.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, it would make my life a lot easier. But anyway, so what made you want to come on a music podcast? Because it always strikes my curiosity when someone's not like a music podcast or a musician that they want to do this show.
I love music. So, like, my father was a musician growing up. He was a singer. He played the guitar, and my love for music has never faded, and it's just evolved over the years. And so, even if I'm having like a bad mood, like I just will turn some good music on that will like set my soul on fire. I love like it motivates me, it puts me in a great frame of mind. If I have a lot of work to do on the computer, I like to put it on and just like allows me to focus and get shit done. So I mean, I feel like, I think we're all kind of artists here in some regard. And so like things that we listen to can feed our soul and allow us to be more creative in the things that we do. So, yeah, I'm always loving to talk about something that I love.
Well, speaking of that, love, what album did you want to bring us today?
Pardon?
What album did you
what
want to bring
album?
us today? Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, Fleetwood Mac, their greatest hits. And like, I've been loving them for 20 years. So back in the day when I used to hang out with the biker gangs, doing a lot of things that were illegal, to today while I'm at the gym on the Stairmaster. So
Yeah, how we want to do it tonight, CJ? Split up
Up
the
to you.
genres, or yeah, okay, we'll do it. I'll go first, so we have a little break in
I
genres
mean,
here.
I don't say you're the only one that's out of genre. I mean,
Uh,
my
I,
record are pretty.
I, I know this. It worked, but so yeah, Fleetwood Mac. It's funny because we actually, not with CJ, but with my previous host who was on before him, I used to we just had Fleetwood Mac rumors brought on like God probably 4 or 5 months ago now, and so
yeah.
I that hearing that brought me back into Fleetwood Mac because I kind of forgot about them, like they just got lost in like the wayside, but hearing this album, I heard some other tracks I didn't know existed. I'm not gonna lie, there were some. I'm like, this is the greatest hits. It's missing a couple songs I would consider greatest hits, but other than that, like I enjoyed the album immensely. Like because I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, like the chain wasn't on. I'm like, that's one of their best songs. Where's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
chain?
yeah. It's not on there. You're right. Yeah.
That's my
And like,
greatest hits too.
I'm sure it is. I'm pretty sure they have like they have their own compilation section on Spotify for God's sake. So I mean, yeah, they've had plenty of compilation albums for that, but with all the changes they've gone through and whatnot. But it's, I mean, Fleetwood Mac's always enjoyable. It's one of those classic rock bands I could always get into. Stevie Nicks is a goddess. I love her.
Oh, yes.
Her solo stuff is amazing as well. So, and I loved her on American Horror Story. So, but it's a band I never can get sick of hearing. So when you wanted to bring Fleetwood Mac, I was like, yay, something I like. Versus a lot of the stuff people bring that it's just like stuff I never heard of or stuff I'm like, why do I have to listen
Well,
to
I've got
this?
some of that too, but let's keep it classic, because classic always wins.
Exactly. Well, CJ, what did you think of Deanna's album?
I love Fleetwood Mac. I have an affinity for the very early Fleetwood Mac stuff. I'm a huge fan of Peter Green. So the early stuff like the Green Man Alicia and stuff like that, I thought it just had a different vibe. But they hit their stride in the late 70s through the 80s. And for a band that has gone through all of the turmoil that they have gone through with divorces and breakups and infighting and all of the different things, they have remained a solid band. They didn't let their personal stuff get in the way of making their money.
But I think a lot of their songs kind of talk about their journey, though. No, right?
Yeah,
the whole Rumors album is all about their breakups and whatnot. So
their journey made them successful, and then putting it out there.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of bands just break up and kind of go their own way. That came out before I even thought about it, but they've pushed through it and sort of made their money and made their fortunes, even with everything else. So I have a lot of respect for Fleetwood Mac. I don't listen to them a ton, but they're one of those bands where I don't necessarily turn them on, but I won't turn them off if somebody else does, or if they're on the radio. And there's a few 70s bands. One thing I will say is, while listening to this, it sort of sparked an older memory, and I had to go back and look up another record that I hadn't heard in a bunch of years.
It does. And, it does that.
I was listening to Go Your Own Way. For some reason, Take the Long Way Home popped into my head.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh man, I got to go listen to Supertramp. So I listened to and was like, I had forgotten how great that record was.
Yeah.
So it was sort of a cool thing to just
it sparks different pieces of you, different memories. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the downfall for me with this music from this generation is it's before my time. So I've had to discover all of it in like different ways. It's not all like it was all just like hot off the shelf or on the radio when I was younger. I mean, it was on the oldie stations that like my dad listened to and whatnot. But I mean, I learned a lot about this music from that. But it's funny because Fleetwood Mac, I didn't really know about until I saw an episode of Glee all about the album Rumors, and I was like, oh, they do that song, and they do that song. Okay, never knew who did those songs, just knew they existed. So, Glee,
interesting.
And I mean, and so yeah, every time I hear "Go Your Own Way," I can't help but think of that episode of Glee. But other than that, like it's just because they actually I mean, they did a good job. They had the harmonies for Fleetwood Mac. They really did. So I can respect what they did. But here's the hard part, though. What are your top 5 tracks off the album, Deanna?
So, like, I had to really think about that and listen to a lot of the songs because there's so many of there's a lot of them that I really love that I will play on repeat for at least an hour, like, and go to the next one and play it on repeat. And I'll just go through the mood swings with the music. So, do you want me to start with 5 and then go to 1? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, we usually like to build a suspense, so we usually start with 5.
So, I'm going to say, like, this might be an unpopular opinion, but Rhiannon is number 5 for me.
Yeah. Not strongly on that one either way, so it works.
Do you want me to keep going, or?
Oh yeah. We do our whole list.
Now, number 4 is "Go Your Own Way." Then 3 is "Dreams." 2 is "Big Love," and number 1 is "Everywhere."
All right, okay. Yeah, mine were a little. I don't know. We actually got close on some of them, but I had one honorable mention, and that was "Don't Stop." I don't know if I don't know if I really knew that one too offhand before this. Same with number 5. My number 5, "Big Love." I never have heard that song, but it's got such a funky jazz like back to it that it's amazing. Like I enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Number 4 was "Everywhere" because I didn't realize that was Fleetwood Mac till today. I never knew what band sang that song, so I learn something new every time I do this show. So, I mean, it's always a good thing. My number 3 was "Go Your Own Way." So, I mean, it was kind of the middle of my list, too. It's overplayed. It's been used so much in the last, especially the last, like, 15 years, it's been used a lot. So, but my number 2 was "Dreams" because "Dreams" has always been one of my favorite songs by them.
Okay.
And then, number 1 has to be "Little Lies." I always have loved that song. It's a classic. I mean, I know it's another one that's heard everywhere, but still, it's just a amazing song, and I still feel like "The Chain" should have been on here, but it is what it is.
I agree. I agree. Like, I love if that was on there, that probably would have been in the top 5 too. Especially, well, I'm loving some of the remixes that I've been hearing about "The Chain," so I agree with you there.
Yeah, I mean, it would be my number 1. I'm pretty sure if I look back, it was my number 1 when we did Rumors too, because it was just such a good song, and I love it. I mean, Fleetwood Mac is always good. But CJ, what are your top 5?
I'm going to say that me and her have sounds like pretty similar tastes because number 5 for me was Rhiannon. Number 4 was "No Questions Asked."
Oh. Okay.
Number 3 is "Dreams." Number 2 is "Don't Stop."
Okay.
Number 1 for me though is "Big Love" because it sort of goes back. It's a song that's very reminiscent of the early Pink Floyd days of the Peter Green era. That's what they did in the beginning. It had that more bluesy, funky, jazzy style. And I, for some reason, didn't remember that song. But as soon as I heard it, I was just kind of like, I had to look it up because I wasn't sure if it was like one of the old songs they wrote with like Pete or I can't think of the other guy's name that was in the band before Lindsay and them guys. But it wasn't. It was actually a Lindsey Buckingham song. So, "Big Love" is the one that was kind of cool to me, and it's different, Yeah,
so. Very different. I was torn between that and "Everywhere," but I don't know.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the whole album is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, the whole album is amazing. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to pick with Fleetwood Mac like favorite songs because it's like Blue Oyster Cult. I can pick a whole freaking album and be happy with it. So, I don't know. I always enjoy it. But that is going to bring us to the second album of the night, and I guess we'll go with mine for a break in genre here a little bit, because I didn't know what to bring against this. I mean, you just think like that era, and there's so many bands you could bring because it's classic rock, and the list is endless. But I was just like, you know what? Let me look at the year, because I'm like, this hits album came out in '88. And I'm like, I know in '88 there's got to be something. It's the year I was born, so I'm the greatest thing to come out of that year. But there has to be something that on there that I want to bring that I haven't brought before. And apparently I brought a few albums before from that year. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, it's not the same genre, but this is the album I want to bring because I think CJ's gonna have fun with it. And I'm like, I guarantee a guest will as well. I'm like, let's bring DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Princes. He's the DJ, I'm the rapper album, because it has some childhood classics on it for me, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go relive this, especially since we were talking about the new Will Smith album a couple episodes ago. So I'm like, let me relive this classic album a little bit. I haven't heard it in full in probably 15, 20 years, so I'm like, let me give it a little visit. I honestly listened to it today, and I was like, okay, part of me wishes I picked a different album, but we're gonna roll with it for what it is and have fun with it. Because I'm like, it's not the I don't think it's the album I'm thinking of. I think I'm thinking of the album that came out before it. This album is, it's not horrible. I mean, it's definitely good. There's some songs that I don't remember ever hearing, even though I know I heard them all before. So I enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoyed it, and
it was a little challenging
like,
for me too. I'm not gonna lie. So I was like, what is this?
I got it out of the way, so I don't have to worry about bringing it on in the future. So it works, but yeah, that was gonna be my next question, Deanna. Is what do you think of the Fresh Prince?
Well, I'm a big fan of Will Smith and his early years. Obviously, like he's kind of kept it real throughout his. I mean, in my opinion, someone else might have a different opinion. In my opinion, I think he's kept it pretty real throughout his career. And, he broke out into the scene with music, right? And then he got onto the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And so, like, my number 5, there was a couple of songs that I knew. And I had to listen to a lot of the rest of the album. Like, okay, well, I don't know a lot of these songs because I just know like his mainstream ones, right? So I had Charlie Mack is number 5. Nightmare on Elm Street is number 4. Parents Just Don't Understand, number 3. Number 2 is Here We Go Again, and then of course number 1, Pump Up the Bass.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. We got different lists, but that's. Well, we'll get into that in a second. I'm dying to hear what CJ thought of DJ Jazzy Jeff before we move on to my top 5.
I mean, this is a record that, for all intents and purposes, it got a lot of listens, along with the first Sir Mix-a-Lot record that had Posse on Broadway and Buttermilk Biscuits and some of the other cool songs. At a time when NWA and some of the more hardcore stuff was on that side of the thing, it gave you a sort of a break from the bombastic. Not that it was bad, but it was less intense. Just sort of a sense of humor. I've always respected them. Jeff more than Will. Will's a good. I mean, he uses his sense of humor to his advantage. But I think Jeff is really the one who, to this day continues to be very groundbreaking in what he does with, his mixes and his DJing and his production stuff. So, he played a great character on Fresh Prince. Um,
Oh yeah.
So I was glad that he was a part of that, but not my favorite. Not something I hate. I kind of avoid the mainstream songs just because I thought they were cheesy and sort of silly. But I had 4 songs. I had As We Go, Brand New Funk, Human Video Game, and Pump Up the Bass were the 4 that sort of, held my attention long enough to. Excuse me, I have sneeze.
Yeah, I mean,
bless you.
You gotta admit though, the Fresh Prince has some flow when he wants to have flow. Like he can rap versus
for sure.
He does absolutely,
like,
but
when he,
it's when he uses it to his advantage. The Men in Black stuff, the Miami, those are where Will really hits his stride, or even the Summertime song.
Yeah, I was just thinking that one. Yeah, I was just thinking
that's or Boom Boom Pump Up the Room.
Yeah.
Were songs that were really not just kind of, Jeff or Will kind of gets away from the sort of tongue-in-cheek stuff to have a little more of a edge to them, And on the new record, like, we talked about the new record again, Will kind of leaned into the whole, look, if you're going to make me the bad guy, I'm going to play the bad guy. And, on the new record, I mean, he leans into it and it shows that, okay, yeah, I've been gone a while, but I still got the skill set that, is.
Gosh, I haven't heard his new record. His new album. I gotta listen to that.
It's hard. It's kind of the equivalent of what LL did after the first couple records.
Oh,
where he sort of leaned into the more, not hardcore image, but the more
harder rap.
He went from doing I Need Love to Mama Said Knock You Out.
Yes.
That's kind of like Will did. Will sort of leaned into that more bombastic style. And it's a really impressive record in the sense that there's even some cuss words in it to where, you normally don't hear Will swear.
Yeah.
But there's a few tracks where Will's just kind of like, fuck it. So.
If you go back to his Lost and Found album, there's a song called "You Saw My Blinker," and he used the word "bitch" pretty frequently in that one. So
they're few and far between for Will. You know what I'm saying? And on this one, he was a bit more aggressive. He almost takes like a Chris Rock for lack of a better way to put it. He almost takes sort of a Chris Rock approach to this record of being just very blunt.
Now I'm gonna have to go look this one up. This is the most recent one.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. It's the first album we put out in probably 15, 20 years. But
after his divorce from Jada.
Did they actually get? Yeah, I'm gonna say they didn't get divorced yet, or if ever.
Or they're separated because.
It's called Based on a True Story.
Well, there you go.
It's
Well, I had two honorable mentions for the Fresh Prince. Brand New Funk, because the beat was amazing, and rhythm tracks. I like the house party style of it. And the back and forth on it between him and between Jazz and Will at one point is really good. Like they go back and forth, and it's pretty freaking awesome. My number 5 was Time to Chill. Just a good put on while you're at sitting at the pool having margaritas type thing. Number 4 is He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper. It's freaking classic, and that's the song where you really hear his flow. His flow in that song in the middle of it is just amazing. He doesn't stop. Number three is A Nightmare on My Street. That song used to give me the freaking heebie-jeebies when I was a kid. Like, that song used to creep me out so bad, but now it's just hilarious. But my number 2 is Parents Just Don't Understand. It's the edit. The album it's originally on is the best album he ever did. But Parents Just Don't Understand is just classic. I mean, it's classic, and they used it perfectly in an episode of Fresh Prince in the first season. But And my number one is Charlie Mack because his verses are freaking phenomenally well put together, and the beat through the whole thing is amazing. Like I honestly didn't know. I forgot about that song for a long time, so it's a really good song. But that leaves us with one album to talk about here, and that would be the music god himself. What do you want to bring there, CJ?
When I saw Fleetwood Mac, my brain immediately sort of just started mentally. But the first thing that popped into my head was Huey Lewis. Why he did, I don't know. I think it's basically because they have sort of the same kind of harmonies and vocally they're similar the way they're constructed. So I brought my favorite Huey Lewis record, which is Fore. And basically, Huey is somebody who's grossly underrated. You don't realize how many Huey Lewis songs you know until you sit down and listen to his greatest hits. And of the 19 songs on his greatest hits record, you're kind of listening to him and you're like, holy shit, I know every single one of these records without realizing I know every one of these songs. So, him and Rick Springfield both have this catalog that you don't realize just how much Rick Springfield and Huey Lewis you know until you start listening to it and you realize, holy shit, I know way more Rick Springfield and Huey Lewis than I realized I knew. This was a record that when I was in high school, I was in choir and chorus, and there's a few songs on this record that were performed pretty extensively by the choir groups and chorus groups I was in. So, yeah, that's why I brought Huey Lewis in the News. Fore!
Well, Deanna, what did you think of Huey?
Oh, I loved Huey. Didn't he have the one like I wear my sunglasses at night? Wasn't that one of them?
No, that's Corey Hart.
That's Corey
Hart.
Oh,
darn it. Well, I mean,
Huey did Harder Rock and Roll.
Well,
Harder Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, I still love Huey. I was listening to this album and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember these songs. So I mean, I'm a bicentennial baby, so I love all the 80s music, and you want me to go through my top 5?
So we'll get to that in a second.
Oh, okay.
Yep. See, CJ, you made me relive something today that I forgot a lot about, because my dad liked Huey Lewis in the News, and he would play him occasionally. He wasn't one of his favorites, but he'd play him occasionally. And so I knew a lot of these songs from him playing it, just from hearing them in grocery stores over the freaking last couple decades. But Huey Lewis is always good, though. He's always good. They were always good. It's funny because when I was a kid, I always thought like Huey Lewis in the News was like a radio show or something. I didn't think it was actually a band, because the end the news part threw me. I thought it was like actually like a radio talk show or something. But he has a lot of good music over his career. He really has, and the fact that they still like are playing that music every so often now even is just phenomenal. Even though he's basically deaf, which is amazing. So he's
not deaf. He has a rare form of vertigo where
I didn't know that.
It makes singing difficult for him because he loses his balance, his equilibrium is off, so he can't stand on stage for long periods of time without getting dizzy and all of that and whatnot. So it makes singing like really hard for him. So he's essentially retired. He still performs on occasion, but they're like really short bursts. So, which is sad because he's still a phenomenal singer.
Yeah. I mean, they could do him like Ozzy, put him in a throne, put them sing, but they could. But I mean, he's always good. I enjoyed the CD immensely, and some of the songs in here are some of my favorite songs ever. So I mean, it's just one of those things where I enjoyed the hell out of it. And Well, CJ, what are your top 5 on your album?
So I have 2 honorable mentions. Stuck With You and Hip to Be Square. More popular songs. Hip to Be Square was in Back to the Future 2. Obviously, the theme song Back to the Future isn't on this one, but he did that one as well. As well as being an actor in Back to the Future, because Huey's done a bunch of movies. Number 5 is I Never Walk Alone. It kind of has that bar band feel to it, that sort of boogie woogie piano. Whole Lot of Lovin' is number 4. Jacob's Ladder is number 3. Number 2, I always use this as an example of when they talk about white singers that are, natural soul singers. You always hear Michael McDonald, you hear Teddy Bridges, and all of that. And I always bring up, well, don't forget Huey Lewis, because he has songs like Doing It All for My Baby that is just a pure soul song. But number 1 for me is one of my favorite songs to sing badly. I can't tell you how many courses I was in high school that did this song. It's Naturally. So I love it. Jeremy knows I love doo-wop music.
Yep.
And this is one of the great modern doo-wop songs that have been released. This Uptown Girl. There's a handful, but they're few and far between. But this is, like, to me, one of the classic examples. If that song would have came out in the 50s, it would have been a massive, massive hit for somebody who knows, whether it was Huey Lewis or, Frankie Valli or the Skyliners or the Coasters or whoever. Some of those groups from back in the day would have sung the hell out of Naturally. So that's my top 7.
What were your top 5, Deanna?
I think my birds are trying to answer that for me right now. They keep talking and squawking, so I apologize about that. So we've got an audience here. So sorry, the music god, but number 5 was Naturally for me. So
that's okay.
Number 4 is I Know What I Like. Number 3 obviously was Stuck With You. Number 2 was Doing It All for My Baby, and then number 1 was Hip to Be Square. I'm sorry, I kind of fall in with the trends. Like, there's certain things that I just love. Then there are some one-offs that I love too, but like I definitely like things that are going to keep me like in a good mood and keep me moving.
Yeah. I'm sorry to race CJ, because mine I light up a little bit more Deanna than you on these, but my one honorable mention was Naturally. Same reason as you. I literally even wrote like a fun doo-wop song, and so I love doo-wop as much as much as you do. So I mean, I enjoyed Naturally a lot. Never heard it, so I was happy I discovered it. Number 5 was Simple as That, which I don't think I've heard that one for either. That was a really good song. Number 4, Stuck With You. Of course I know that song, but it's classic. My number 3 was I Know What I Like. That was my last new discovery on this one, because I am honestly not sure if I heard that before or not. I feel like I must have, but it didn't resonate. I really like that song. Number 2 is Doing It All for My Baby. I did not realize that was Huey Lewis till today. I never knew who that was. Like, I just always heard at grocery stores and never really knew who it was. But my number 1 is Hip to Be Square, of course, because it's one of the best songs out of the 80s. And, I mean, or should I say Hip to Be Scared, but because I love Ice Nine. I love Ice Nine Kills version of that too. But I actually just heard that in the way into work today, randomly enough. So I was like, oh yeah, I got to listen to that album today. But yeah, I mean, I like his classics. I like the ones that are mega hits because they're amazing. I wish Power of Love was on this. I wish This is Hard Rock and Roll was on this. Like, I was kind of hoping it was like more of like a collection of most of his hits. But oh well, I'm sure those albums will get brought on eventually, someday in this show. So actually, it was actually our first appearance for Huey Lewis in this show. So about time he finally got on after 100 plus episodes. So,
oh wow,
just I never thought to bring him, and no one else has ever brought him. So, yeah, there you go. We got it first today. Not the first time for either other artists, but still, always appreciate them all. And well, folks, we killed them pretty fast tonight. Doesn't always happen, but when you're talking about classics, what do you expect? I mean, everybody knows these songs. What's there? There's not much. There's like it's not new. It's a lot of it's just reliving old memories and reliving stuff you love to hear. But Deanna, why don't you tell them where they could find you, find your podcast, and anything else you do?
I'm everywhere. So labelfreepodcast.com, Label Free Podcast, and all the socials. I'm also launching, I'm a publisher. I'm launching a luxury lifestyle magazine here in the Chicagoland area, which has been a lot of fun, but challenging at the same time. I never thought that I would be becoming a publisher, but here we are. So why not? You know, like you bring me a challenge and I'm just going to take it on. So I'm pretty much all in this media, publishing, public relations space. And I'm loving every minute of it. And it's fun to come on shows and be with hosts like you guys and talk about something different and just expand our horizons a little bit by exposing ourselves to other music and, different artists and things like that. So yeah, label free podcast, and you Google search me. I'm going to be everywhere.
Well, there you go, folks. And of course, our website will be right in the description of this podcast when you get to listen to it. So feel free to click and go and check it out. And CJ, where can they find you if they so dare?
If they're brave and adventurous, go to musicgodcjplane.rocks, ROCKS. That's the website. Trying to kind of funnel everything to that. It's taking a while to sort of get it to where, it'll click through properly. We have the YouTube channel, which is The Music God Reacts. Those are my music reactions. And you also have the Noise Report, where I interview random people about whatever. You can look up on Spotify, Apple, all the other places and find the Loud List. That's where we do the top 10 lists that rock. Pretty much anything your brain can conceive of. Newest episode is the top 30 heavy records that influenced me. So, all kinds of stuff from Striper Extreme, Metallica, Ozzy, Black Sabbath, Guns N' Roses, all of the great 80s, 90s records, Mother Love Bone, that were a huge influence to me. And then soon, we're sort of in the finishing stages. We have 2 books that will come out this year. The first one is a comedy, horror comedy called All Men Are Cremated Equal. That's basically Deadpool meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the truck driving theme. And the other one is called Woulda, Shoulda, Coulda. All the bands from the 80s that would have, should have, and could have been huge if not for record company fuck-ups, or, being buried or pushed aside or whatever. So all of the great 80s hair bands that weren't Guns N' Roses and Bon Jovi, all of the good bands like Shark Island, Sea Hags, Blue Tears, Tora Tora, Roxy Blue, all of those cool bands. We're going to cover all of those with whatnot. So, that's where you find me.
And of course, you can find both your musers as Maniacal Music Musings on any podcatcher. You can see us on Facebook as Squatchy Largefoot, or on X and the Gram as that Juggalo Bastard. And you could, of course, always go to YouTube, just search Maniacal Music Musings, and you will find every episode we've ever done. All 100 plus of them. The only place to find them all. So go check it out. we need the views, so go check out some of my old ones. But we want to thank Deanna for coming on. It's been a fun time, and of course, we'll be back next week with whatever our guest next week ends up being. Working on that, but you could also come back a week from Saturday to as we start the Avantasia bracket. Finally, time to get in a new artist, and thank the freaking Lord, I've had enough Zeppelin to last me a lifetime. But 235 songs. But come back next. Well, come back next week, folks, and check it out. Until then, have a good one.